Monster Hunter Wilds is one of the big games I'm looking forward to, so I did check out last weekend's beta. It was a busy weekend for me, so I had little time to actually put hours into this. I feel like I didn't get enough time to actually do a thorough analysis. But from the little time I did play it, here's how I figured it runs on console, the Xbox Series S versus X versus PlayStation 5. Keep in mind, this is a beta test after all, so the final game might be improved on this. From the visuals and the graphics standpoint, I wasn't that impressed on console. Yes, the game looks better than Monster Hunter Rise, but honestly, not by much. This whole map, the world, it feels a lot more open, a lot more freedom to roam around. But visually, it's not as stunning as I expected it to be. The game can also look really blurry at times, so Capcom does need to further optimize it for console before it releases in early 2025. On Xbox Series X and PS5, there's a few graphic settings. Number one, there's a prioritized resolution and prioritized frame rate option. Both of these do target 60 FPS, but even prioritized frame rate won't get you a solid 60. Then there's also a toggle to turn on 120Hz mode if you have a capable display. On the weaker Series S, you don't get that prioritized resolution and frame rate option, but even the Series S has that 120Hz mode. So on the Series X and PS5, you'll have really 4 different combinations you can run with the graphics. I did have limited time here, so I ran the test on 2 settings. First, I ran it at the highest possible graphics and resolution, so prioritize resolution without that 120Hz mode. Here's a PS5 running that. You can see the frame rate isn't locked to 30 at all. It's actually targeting 60, but of course, it's nowhere close to that target. PS5 gets around 31 to 33 FPS if you want the best possible visuals. This frame rate, of course, it's not ideal for an action game like this. I mean, the game can look good at times, but it does get kind of sluggish. The monsters, they can also look good at times when you're up close to them. I mean, you can see this monster here. It's wet hide when it's in the water, but it's nothing groundbreaking. Xbox Series X is going to be similar. I mean, the same 31 to 33 FPS we saw on PS5. And of course, the game also looks fairly similar to the PS5 on the Series X as well. Xbox Series S runs at a lower resolution, so the game's going to be even more blurry. It's not gonna look as good. There's less detail in the environments, and the frame rate, well, that's actually a tiny bit higher, averaging around 35 to 36 FPS, so a few frames higher than PS5 and Series X. Now let's talk about that 120Hz mode. As I said, I had limited time to test this game, so I could only get a small amount of footage and analysis done. Here's PlayStation 5 running at that 120Hz mode. You can see we're nowhere close to 120 FPS. It's not even a solid 60. FPS hovers in the low to mid 50s. The game does feel smoother when you're playing, and that VRR should help in this case as well. Series S and X are gonna get you a similar FPS in that 120Hz mode, so don't expect anywhere near 120 FPS on Xbox either. It's going to be interesting to see if Monster Hunter Wilds looks and runs much better on PS5 Pro. Clearly, the Series S, X, and PS5 are maxed out here. This game really needs a high-end PC to look its best. So that's what you need to know about Monster Hunter Wilds on Xbox Series S, X, and PlayStation 5. I'm really looking forward to the final release. For the rest of the video, check out some more gameplay with that FPS counter shown.
lightning has them amped up. Might be able to use them as a trap.